population's sense of possibility is here, well, who's going to do anything about that? And anyone comes out and says, they're doing this, this goes, you're mad, that's not possible. No, it's not possible for you, it's not possible for the human race in the public arena anyway, it's possible for them. So controlling people's perception of the possible and limiting it is absolutely crucial to holding this house of cards, because that's what it is, a house of cards together.
Okay. Well.
The other thing is, just very quickly, the second part of this is that you make it unpleasant, even terrifying, for people to start talking and promoting information and possibility that is outside the box. And this is where the human race is desperately responsible for its own plight, because you're talking, I think, after 20 years of looking at this, but, you know, I'm open to all possibility in the light of information. I think, you know, there's 4 to 5% of the human population are these hybrid bloodlines, and most of that 4 to 5% are not fully aware, and sometimes not even at all aware of what they're part of and how they're being used. So they cannot control the human population by numbers. They have to get the human population to control itself. And the way they do this is by setting the norms in society. You can look back all the way through history. They set the norms in society. For instance, at one point, Theo, the norm was the Earth was flat. And anyone that said it was a sphere, or actually it went round the sun and the sun didn't go around us and all that stuff, was immediately not just abused and ridiculed, their lives were taken. And today we have a situation where the sheep have or the human sheep have out-sheeped the real sheep, because at least the real sheep need a sheepdog to frighten them into line. We do it to each other. When you step out of these norms and you start to express yourself and your view and information that's outside this limited possibility, everyone knows that, mate, that's not possible, all that stuff. Who is jumping on you? Well, not Barack Obama or George Bush, but the rest of the population, your family, the people at work, the people down the bar. The fear of what other people think and the limitation of human possibility, those two things alone, mate, are devastating for human control.
But you say that there are 4 to 5% of people who are the Illuminati bloodlines. But if we say the population is 7 billion, which you do in this book,
right,
that's 280 million people who are that's just 4%. It's 280 million. That's a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're talking, like I said earlier, the vast majority of those people are being used in terms of the manipulation of their faculties, their perceptions. But the ones in full, absolute 100% awareness of what they're doing and in full support of it is a fraction of the 4 to 5%. You're looking at really in full awareness. You're looking at a tiny number, really. These lot of researchers talk about 13 Illuminati bloodlines, 13 Illuminati families, and all that goes out from that. But you're not talking fantastic amounts of people. And one of the reasons, as researchers all over the world have talked about, that part of the agenda is to cull the human population, because they are frightened of the numbers. They cannot control us unless we, A, control each other, and B, acquiesce to what the control system imposes upon us. And people do that all the time. You know, we've reached a point where when, for instance, we are getting these ludicrous, outrageous impositions on the fine detail of our lives, like wheelie bins have to be out not before then and not after that, or it's 200 quid fine and this far from the curb and all the rest of it. What is happening is the same as manipulating the behavior of a laboratory rat, where they put them in these mazes, and if they go down certain channels, they get an electric shock. And they might go down it once, they'll go down it twice, and they might go down it 3 times maybe. But after that, you can take the shock technology away, that rat will not go down there anymore. Its behaviour has been changed. And when you look at what's happening here with the traffic cameras and the surveillance cameras and all the stuff that goes on now, we've reached the point where it's not good enough anymore, frankly, for people to look at it and say, well, I don't know, what's the world coming to? Big brothers everywhere. And then the next question will be, what's on the telly tonight, honey? Don't complain about the imposition of a big brother state if all you're doing is moaning about it. Because I'll tell you what's happening. They are imposing more and more outrageous laws, more and more fine detail of our lives, and if there's no resistance, there's no resistance, okay, give them the next bit, boom. Oh, what's up, guys? Big brothers everywhere. What's on the telly? No resistance, boom. And this is what's going on. You know, it's no good moaning about it. We have to start coming together, drop the fault lines irrelevant of race and religion and income bracket and all the rest of it, and start to stop cooperating with this system of imposition. Because if the millions and the tens of millions and the hundreds of millions will not acquiesce, the control system has no power whatsoever. Guy comes out the White House, guy comes out Downing Street, we've had a discussion, we decided this is going to happen. It only happens if the public say, well, we better, you know, I'm terrible, I don't know, but we better follow it. That's it. If the public said in large numbers, no, we're not doing that at all. Go away, go about your business, you're not needed here. It's over. But we don't. And this is why it's crucial, Theo, for the control system to absolutely divide and rule us. And the conspiracy research movement is divided and ruled. All these bloody things going, what do you say? Well, for goodness sake, come on. You know, we're at a point now, like I say, when we need to grow up and come together, put the irrelevance aside, you know, say to ourselves, you know, if I was on my deathbed now, would what I'm getting all het up about matter? No. Well, don't let it matter now. Let's come together on what affects us all, affects all our children and grandchildren, and that's fundamental, basic freedoms being eroded by the day. And that is that power is absolutely enormous. The control system would fall because it would have to fall, but it's going to fall anyway. A few years along the road, because there is a consciousness awakening going on, which is a major theme of the book, and it's probably in many ways the most important thing.
Well, we'll leave that to the last.